Hello everybody and welcome back to my F1 2021 career mode. This is round 4, this will be the Canadian Grand Prix. I'm just having a look at my upgrades, but I just want to take a moment to say congratulations to Esteban Ocon for holding his nerve and winning the Hungarian Grand Prix IRL today. That was a fantastic drive, fantastic race, great comeback by Lewis Hamilton, but you can't help but feel that Ocon was helped to the win today by his teammate Fernando Alonso holding back the ever-charging Lewis Hamilton and doing a brilliant job of it. Like, that was like the old Alonso that we know and love, just fierce and feisty defending, and what a great battle it was between the two of them. And Williams got points. Both Latifi and Russell making it to P8 and P9 respectively. Wow, just what a great day. Very unfortunate for Red Bull. There will be a full video where I discuss my thoughts on the current F1 season coming out soon. But here you can see me making it into Q2. And from then on, let's be honest, I made it into Q3 because nobody else decided to go out before the rain hit. And therefore I was able to take advantage, and that's the result. I did do a lap in Q3, but unfortunately enough for me, it was only good enough for 10th. But I'm not going to complain too much about that. You know, I didn't even think I'd be making it into the top 10 in qualifying this race, so I'm excited to see what the race ahead has to offer.
Hello and welcome to the Ile Notre Dame once again for what promises to be another incredible Canadian Grand Prix at a fiercely competitive circuit, where pole position can often be decided by less than a tenth of a second. We'll be seeing top speeds of around 210 miles an hour here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, with around 2/3 of the lap taken at full throttle. High-speed chicanes spell potential danger, especially at the infamous Wall of Champions. And watch out for overtaking into the hairpin and the final chicane. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today. But I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the rundown into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course, you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri BOTTAS. The Finn starts from pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Verstappen, Pierre Gasly and Stroll, Ocon, Tsunoda, Fernando Alonso and Joker, Perez, Vettel, Charles Leclerc and Ricciardo, Giovinazzi, Sainz, Kimi Raikkonen and Mick Schumacher, Russell, Markelov, Latifi and Nikita Mazepin. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Right then, I am on the grid. It is P10 we are starting from. 35 laps are ahead of us of this very challenging Montreal track. One mistake and you're in the wall. It's lights out and away we go. We managed to get a bit of a jump on Alonso, but the second phase of his start was incredible. I had to suddenly dive to the inside to try and get around him, but then I'm blocked by Tsunoda. And for some reason I've got an illegal overtake on Alonso, which I'm not really sure what was for. He's now gone up the inside. He's taken P10 from me. And I've got to watch out because Vettel is there and ready to pounce. I'm going to try and get up the inside of Alonso here, but I've lost momentum and Vettel's on my right having a look. I'm instantly shutting that one down. I do want to stay and try and fight in the points if I can. We've had a couple of points finishes so far this season, including one last time out in Baku. I want to try and get a second points finish in a row. That was scampering across the corner just a little bit. I'm looking back because I've got Daniel Ricciardo behind me in that very fast orange McLaren, diving up the inside of Fernando Alonso. A little bit aggressive, and I think there was a tiny bit of contact, but we have made it through. And I know a lot of people are going to be angrily hitting their keyboards. The McLaren is papaya. Well, I'm sorry, the papaya McLaren of Daniel Ricciardo. Anyway, Alonso's now coming up my inside. He's steaming it. He sent it, but I'm holding it around the outside. And I have just schooled Fernando Alonso there. But he's now having a look up my inside. He's trying to get the move done there. But again, I'm trying to hang it out around the outside. We may have missed the second part of the corner, but we didn't really have many places to go there. And we have held on to the position. Now we've got Stroll and the new F1's newest race winner in Esteban Ocon battling ahead of me. Let's try and keep the chat to career mode. Anyway, those two are battling hard. Very hard, because Ocon has lost it. And he's coming across the track. And that's going to be a huge accident. That is a huge accident. Oh my god. That is horrific. You see Ocon's just crashed there of his own accord. And Vettel was smashed into him. Oh my god, that is a horrifying crash to see. And my first thought of that is IRL, that would be horrific. Ocon just looked like he lost it, and he lost it down the straight on the DRS, went into the wall, came back across the track, and Vettel just had nowhere else to go. Anyway, we've taken the opportunity with the safety car coming out, as it quite obviously should for that. I'm amazed that's not even a red flag, but the safety car coming out for that, and we decided to pit, and now we are right behind Nikita Mazepin for P17, and we're going to have a look up the inside. That's just going to be the easiest overtake in the world. I mean, come on. It's Nikita Mazepin. You hardly have to race hard to get past him. Right, next up is Nicholas Latifi and Daniel Ricciardo in the papaya McLaren. Remembering to call it right this time, having a look. I've now got past Nick Latifi. Had a little bit of a brush with him. I don't think anything untoward came of that. And now Daniel Ricciardo is going to get ready to have a look at us both. But I'm trying to keep ahead. I've also got George Russell directly ahead of me. And Latifi, well, he pits anyway, so that wasn't really relevant, was it? Right, next overtake is now on George Russell. This is going to be for P12, I want to say. Yes, it is for P12. We've got that move done. And cars in front of us are now starting to pit. This is good news for us, as it means we are now able to start making our way forward. And Markelov doing nicely there, just inside the points. But I think he's just peeled into the pits. Indeed he has, which is unfortunate. I really thought Markelov could have had a shout at a point or two here. Anyway, we're now down the inside of Mick Schumacher. And that's another place gained. Right, Pierre Gasly is next, and he's tucked up behind Antonio Giovinazzi. So, can we make anything of that? I think Giovinazzi actually pitted very soon after that, and Gasly has been able to get away. Daniel Ricciardo is now coming straight back at me. I'm going to try and cover the inside, but just look at the momentum he's got. There's nothing that could have been done about that. Like, he's about 50 miles an hour faster on the straight than I was. It made me look like I weren't even moving, as I practically drift the last chicane. And yeah, I'm also starting to get some wear on my engine, so the car not running quite up to optimal performance as it should be. And now we've got Sergio Perez on me, and again I've gone to cover very late, and that has just about held him. And now we're going to the inside of the chicane, and that should keep Perez at bay for the time being. Right, Bottas pits. That means the race order at the moment is Pierre Gasly and Daniel Ricciardo. And we are currently sat in P3 with Lando Norris right behind. And I tell you what, if I can maintain anywhere near decent pace here, we might be on some really good points. Lando Norris now on my left again. Nothing I could have done about that. He was just straight through on the talk out of the previous corner alone. Nothing that could have been done there. Look at the speed of that McLaren. That is a pretty OP car at the moment. Has to be said. It's definitely OP at this stage of career mode. Right. Hamilton is now right behind us, as it's now a McLaren 1-2 currently in the running. with Daniel Ricciardo leading the way ahead of Lando Norris. And there's a car just in front of me now. I'm not sure who it is. Anyway, Max Verstappen appears to be out of the race, and I think that was Giovinazzi piling into him. As we see so often on this game, we see cars peeling off to retire, and not for the first time, a driver's then piled into them. And it's caused another safety car, so we thought, you know what, let's pit again, because I'm fairly sure I can take the mediums, what is set to be 19 laps, so I'm fairly sure I can take them that long. Like, they didn't seem to be too badly worn when I came in for that stop, and they were the pair of mediums I'm putting on under the first safety car, so I'm fairly confident I can make these last after the second safety car of the day. But we're now getting ready to get underway once again, and I think I've been caught napping a bit there, because Raikkonen, who's ahead of me, has been able to stretch away by just a little bit, and as a result we've now got him a little bit further ahead, but I'm able to catch him within the confines of the first sector. And Markolov's still in P10, so I don't know, could he be in with a shout of a point today? It's going to be very hard to see both Joe H2O racing cars in the points, but for now I'm sending it on Raikkonen in a move that was so good it actually shocked me into stumbling on my words. Right, here we go, just full send up the inside, completely outbraking him, and Kimi just either jumping out of the way because he knew I was coming through, or jumping out of the way because, oh crap, I've got Joe behind me and he's not known as a patient overtaker. However, I feel like since I've made the switch to simulation damage, I feel like my overtakes have been a lot cleaner. Anyone who's watched previously, any of my previous career modes, can back me up on that. Anyway, we are now into lap 24, and the guys in front of me are all starting to pit. And Leclerc and Ricciardo are now the two cars in front of me. Do they need to pit? Leclerc's into pits, as is Ricciardo. So unbelievably, due to us pitting under the safety car and the AI not taking appropriate tyres or pitting under the safety cars, as a result, we are leading the Canadian Grand Prix. We are leading round 4 of our first season of My Team Career Mode on F1 2021, and that is incredible. But there are 10 laps to hold the lead, and a very fast chasing pack closing me down, so holding this lead is going to be damn near impossible, but I'm going to do what I can. Right, unfortunately it's only been a couple of laps and Lando Norris has already caught me, so we've got to try and get defensive very early on. Look at the momentum he has on me there as he tries to send that round the outside. I've given him a little bit of space, but he's just unable to utilise it. But heading into the hairpin, I'm going to try and defend here. I'm having to put my car on the inside line, and I've got to say, on the straight, I hate to say it, but with the Mercedes engine in that McLaren, I am going to be an absolute sitting duck. And in fact, sitting duck is the appropriate phrase, because that Lando gets past me as if I'm not even moving. Like, it's like my car is parked on the hard shoulder of a motorway and I'm just watching him zoom past. So Lando Norris now leads this race. Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton are right behind me. They've actually swapped position in the time it took me to describe that, and now they're both having an attack on me. Lewis has gone through there, but I should have the inside of the hairpin. I'm going to brake as late as I dare, and that keeps Lewis behind for now. But now we've got that straight, and again, two Mercedes with the car they've got. Again, it's candy from a baby. I'm a sitting duck, and now these two are going to battle each other, which is amusing in itself. Hamilton tries to defend, and I think Valtteri having to just back out that time. But Valtteri getting him a lap or so later. Right, we're now in P4 with Pierre Gasly chasing and Daniel Ricciardo chasing. And with 4 laps to go, I'm just thinking to myself, can we just hold P4? Could we hold that and get our best result so far this season? It's going to be very difficult with 2 laps to go. Well, 2 and a bit laps to go. Gasly has caught me. I'm trying to defend, but again, Gasly's just zoomed straight past me. And now we've got to defend Ricciardo, but he's not able to make the move just yet. I'm just still seeing if I can get towards Gasly, but no such luck. And Ricciardo blasts past me on the straight, but we managed to dive him into turn 1. And now we are down to P5 with 2 laps to go. And look at that chasing pack. This is going to be a tough couple of laps if we are going to try and match our Bahrain result of P5. And like I said, we've got a chasing pack right behind us. And unlike Bahrain, you know, it's going to be harder to hold back. Like Bahrain was relatively straightforward to hold back. This is not going to be. We've got a McLaren one side, we've got a Ferrari the other, and both of which has just gone straight past me. Now Leclerc's up Ricciardo's inside. No such luck there. We've hit the curb, and we begin the last lap now with Carlos Sainz right behind me, and we lose another place to Sainz. But I'm going to take a little dive up the inside here. Carlos turning into me a bit there, and Perez just out of nowhere was on the outside. I didn't even know he was there, and as a result I've clipped him, and now Sainz is trying to send it up the inside, but again we've held it out around the outside, and this is going to be a fierce and frantic battle now to try and hold on to P7. Oh, a handful of laps ago we were leading. How has it all gone so wrong? But in truth, A, my tyres are absolutely shagged, and B, well, this car, like, if I'm honest, we are placing this car way higher than it should be if you look at the performance index. Like, I think at this point we were the 7th or 8th best car, so just the fact that we're doing P7 alone is still great. And Carlos now having a go on the straight. I've tried to defend him, it's just come to nothing. I was going to have a look down the inside of the chicane, but before the end of the race, Carlos just demoting us that one more place. I've gone sideways and into the wall of champions, but it is going to be P8. It is going to be 4 more championship points.
Pick up rubber and bring it home.
Brilliant stuff from McLaren today. What a superb victory. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Our winning drivers are on their way to the podium right now. It's been a fantastic race for McLaren, that's for sure, and no doubt they'll be celebrating tonight.
Well, Lando Norris is the winner then, and to be honest, I think IRL, his first win, is coming real soon too. Potentially this season if we get another race like Budapest. But anyway, let's talk about the career mode then. So it was a Norris win, then it was Bottas, Hamilton, Gasly in 4th, Ricciardo, Leclerc, Sainz and myself, Perez and Alonso getting that final point. I'm a little bit frustrated there because we were leading with a handful of laps to go, but with the car we have, you know, we just couldn't fight the cars that we were battling. They were just far too quick for us, but I'm still going to take P8. It's still 4 more championship points than I was expecting, so what can you do? Right, I'm going to leave you with the highlights reel then. Guys, there is an F1 2021 mid-season video coming out from me where I discuss my thoughts and opinions on the F1 season, so do look out for that, and there will be a lot more chat about the Hungarian Grand Prix on it, and I'm really looking forward to chatting about that one. But yes, congrats to Williams, Ocon, and just about everyone else that did well in today's Hungarian Grand Prix. Leaving you with the highlights reel now. Thank you so much for watching. Join me again when we play F1 2021 Career Mode.